All right, today we're going to talk about one of the sharpest tools in the entire literary toolbox. It's this form of critique that, it hides in plain sight, usually disguised as just a good laugh. Yep, we're diving into satire, the joke that actually tells the truth. So let's just jump right in with a big question. We usually think of jokes as, well, light entertainment, right? Something to make us chuckle. But what if a joke's real job wasn't just to make you laugh, but to make you really, truly think? What if it was designed to be one of the most serious things in the world? Well, that's exactly where satire lives. See, satire has this kind of secret mission. It's never just about the comedy. It's always about correction. So let's pull back the curtain and find out what this powerful type of humor is really trying to do. So what exactly is satire anyway? Well, if you look up the official definition, it's a technique that uses humor or irony or exaggeration to criticize our flaws, our follies, the silly things we do. But here's the absolute key part. It does all that with the intent to correct and reform. This is so important. It's not just about laughing at something, it's about laughing at it in the hopes of actually changing it. Exactly. It's humor with a purpose, a mission. Good satire, it kind of wants to get under your skin a little bit. It mixes that laughter with just a touch of discomfort. The whole point is to make you stop for a second and think, wait, why am I laughing at this? And more importantly, what is the uncomfortable truth this joke is really pointing to?
Okay, but here's the thing. Not all satire feels the same. Not at all. In fact, you can think of it as having two really distinct personalities. The satirist really has two faces, and each one has its own way of delivering a critique, its own tone, and its own goal.
All right, let's break down these two faces. So on one hand, you've got Horatian satire. This is the gentle stuff. It's witty, amused, it looks at human weakness and kind of says, it's forgivable, and then just gently pokes fun at it. Think of, a lighthearted monologue on a late-night talk show. But then, on the other hand, you've got Juvenalian satire. And this stuff is harsh. It's biting. It's angry. It doesn't see a forgivable weakness. It sees a corrupt, rotten vice. Its goal isn't to make you chuckle. It's to provoke pure outrage. This is that scorching political cartoon that just makes you mad. So here's a super simple way to think about it. Horatian satire, that's the friend who playfully nudges you and says, hey, we're all a little ridiculous, aren't we? But Juvenalian satire, that's the one that slaps you in the face and yells, this is completely wrong and we have to fix it now. But how does satire actually do all this? What's the engine that makes it run? Well, more often than not, the satirist's weapon of choice, their secret ingredient, is irony. That's what gives it all its power. Yeah, irony is really the key to the whole thing. It's like the structural backbone of satire. Because what satire does, what it loves to do, is live in that space, that gap between what someone says and what they actually mean, or the gap between how things look and how they really are. Irony is the tool that just cracks that gap wide open for all of us to peer inside. And this irony shows up in a few key flavors. First up, you've got verbal irony. That's your classic sarcasm, right? Saying the complete opposite of what you mean. Then there's dramatic irony. This is when we, the audience, are in on a secret that the characters have no idea about. And finally, there's situational irony. That's when the result of something is the total opposite of what you'd expect, and it just perfectly highlights how absurd the world can be. Okay, so we've covered the what and the how, but why does satire still matter so much? Why is it still so relevant today? Let's get into its favorite targets, the real risks that come with it, and of course, the rewards. And believe me, satire definitely has its favorite targets. It just loves to go after the big, powerful institutions that shape our lives. Look at this. Government and politics, that's obviously the biggest piece of the pie. But it also takes aim at social norms, religious dogma, really any system of authority is fair game. The bottom line is always the same. Satire punches up. And really, that's its ultimate job, isn't it? It's a tool that lets us, the public, question authority. By using humor to point out hypocrisy or ridiculous rules or just plain absurdity, satire helps chip away at the unearned respect we might give to these powerful systems. It's a way of holding them accountable. But, and this is a huge but, it's a really dangerous game. Satire is basically walking a tightrope. Because it relies so heavily on irony, it can be so easily misinterpreted. A joke can just fall completely flat and end up causing real offense. And if a satirist isn't super careful, they can actually end up reinforcing the very stereotypes they're trying to tear down. And sometimes, well, sometimes people just don't get the joke at all.
Which really leaves us with one last and I think crucial question to think about. We know satire is a high-stakes tool. It can be misunderstood, it can cause genuine harm, but at the same time, it can expose these deep, uncomfortable truths in a way that almost nothing else can. So the question I want to leave you with is this. When is the risk of a joke worth the reward of the truth?